One of the most crucial characters in carving out the Alaskan landscape were the glaciers. The splendor of it and the beauty of it and the way the light refracts through the ice crystal. How do you get better than this? To go to a place and to mine out those memories, that's just one of those little jewels I'll carry to the end of my life. Because there's 3 of them in the class.
Leonardo, a name is magic, and I mean,
it's an important thing. That's what you are.
Exactly.
And that's why I traveled. My name is Trek. If I'd been named Miller, I'd be like milling wheat. I'd be making beer.
Yeah, yeah. You stop time for a moment and you do something that's completely just for you and completely unique to what you do. Yeah. And those little moments in time, I think, are what flavors your life.
Yeah.
And I think that's the whole point.
Where else have you been that you really liked?
I think Norway's absolutely stunning. I mean,
do you like this type of climate and topography and the fjords and this feeling?
It's beautiful, and the people are a lot of fun too. There's not many places in the world where you can see stuff like this. Apparently, the best fjords are in Alaska, though, which I am not yet to see.
I didn't get to see them, but I managed to get down to Juneau, Alaska, and I met this guy named Kevin Mulligan, sort of the quintessential Alaskan pioneer. He came up there with his brother when he was 15. At 18 years old, he decided he wanted to stay, and he was one of the last homesteaders to gain land that way by sectioning off some land, improving the land, and then he got title to the land. So for me, it sort of represented the quintessential pioneering spirit of Alaska. He took me on his plane, just a little floater plane. You know, we circled around, there's mist, it's like something out of some other world. We saw bald eagles in the trees. We saw literally whales cresting and their tails coming up out of the water. It was amazing.
What I was looking for maybe was adventure. Traveling with my brother and seeing some new country that I've never been to before.
Somebody said, boy, do you know you can still homestead land in Port Alexander? Walked around this place and it's like, oh man, it was on the edge. I mean, there were no roads, there was no running water, there were no telephones, there were no electricity, and it was on the edge of the most beautiful, awesome, rugged, magnificent country in the world. And that's when it grabbed my heart. Hundreds of thousands of acres in my backyard.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was 17, and I still had another year in high school.
There's a magic in it. You can't even say the word Alaska without it sounding exotic and bringing up ideas of miners and gold and Kodiak bears. And it's just what the American frontier really was about. And this really is the last American frontier up here.
This land up here is so rich in food and it's so alive with all the animals and the birds and the water. We have smoked salmon and eat sushi. It feeds me and my wife, my kids. Yep, it's a beautiful place.
This is a real Alaska, huh?
Yeah, for me it is.
That textured surface there, that's what I'm shooting for, the end.
Tommy Joseph's ability with wood carving is the way that over many years he's developed a relationship with the wood. He can intuitively feel what the wood is doing with the tools that he's working on, and it's just second nature for him. I tried it myself, and you know, things that he takes for granted in terms of his relationship with the wood, I found very difficult to deal with. It's beautiful to watch him working with his art.
A big wave will crash in there and it'll get my attention. I'll go out and walk out there and just stand there and take in the ocean. I mean, and the islands, when the weather's clear, you can see all these islands around here. Just a beautiful place.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Does that sort of help you get through your workday, having an amazing office space like this?
I always take the time to enjoy where I'm at. The sounds, the smells. I mean, just a little bit ago we saw eagles landing in the trees over here, and occasionally there'll be killer whales there. You never know what's going to come by. Yeah.
You've seen killer whales out here?
I've seen killer whales right out here. Humpback whales.
Wow.
Beautiful place.
What's beautiful about Alaska is there's a sense of immensity and a sense of solitude that you can gain just steps away from these little towns. You start to open up, you start to push against the edges and open up that world for yourself, and that's when you start to feel a part of it, and it becomes a part of you, and you start developing the confidence of wanting to come back and wanting to explore more and wanting to see other places. You have to see places like this at least one time in your life, because what it does, it helps to juxtapose other things that you know in your life by having an experience that's very different than what you're used to.